That's a toy logo.
Cameron here from IPD to talk to you about a real common thing that we see on 240s. I've owned probably a couple dozen 240s myself, and I've had to replace these clips on pretty much all of them. It's real common, if you look at this, for 240s, where you have something like this. You have the trim that bounces around like that. One of the clips comes off, something like that, and it just dangles there. Or if you're missing the trim piece completely, that happens too. There's two styles clips they used on these. The early cars use this style clip, and the later cars use this style clip. We carry both of these here, they're real cheap. And it doesn't cost you that much to just go ahead and replace all of them if you need it, or just one or two here and there. The reason we're talking about this in this video is because they can be a little tricky to install. The earlier style one that I talked about a second ago, this style, is a piece that you first put into the body of the car, and then you have to kind of pound this little pin in the middle of it to get it all to expand, and then you put the trim and you put it onto that. This style is a little different in that it goes into the channel in the back of the trim, you give it a quarter turn, it locks in place, and then you take the whole thing and give it a little hit to pound it into the body. So let me show you real quick how it works on this earlier style, and we'll fix this trim right now. A tool that can come in really handy with this job is this. This is our bone tool. It's a plastic tool, and it's excellent for getting the trim off if it's part way off, or if you just need to remove it a little bit, or if you want to put it back here to help pry it out of the way. It's plastic, it's not going to mar the paint, it's not going to damage the paint like a screwdriver would, so use one of these, it's the right tool. Now in this car you'll see that it's missing this back clip, and the hole in the body is just right there. So we're going to install this clip because this car takes this earlier style. Now there's a year break on these ones, but it's not consistent. The earlier style take this style, and that's going to be somewhere from 75 up to about 80, 81-ish, depending on the car. If you're unsure, just look what style clips in there. If it looks like this guy back here, when you've got it off, like a little flat square piece that's in the body of the car, it's going to be the early style. If it has the style that the trim piece has the clip kind of stuck in it still, it's going to be the later style. This one's the earlier one, so we're going to start by taking this fat piece on the back and putting it into the body of the car. You got to wrangle them a little bit, but the idea is that you want it to be just like that. Now you see, obviously the trim's not going to fit on with that piece in there, and this is where this one gets a little confusing if you haven't seen this style of pin before. All you have to do now is just give this part a little bit of a hit with a drift and a hammer, real gently, tap that in, and on the inside it takes that inside part and spreads it open like that to lock it into place. I like to use the other end of a bone tool myself, put it here as a little buffer, just take a little hammer, and all you got to do is just give it a, like that. See how it popped in just like that? Alright, so now that we got that in there, we got that all flush on the back, we just want to take the trim piece and give it a little bit of a kind of solid hit with the heel of your hand to get it on there. They can be kind of tricky sometimes because the back of it kind of has this shape and needs to kind of go under and over that way. So usually you can get it by just holding it a little bit tight and giving it a good hit. There, I got the bottom of it, you could hear it click. Now to get the top, kind of go up a little. There. So, brand new trim.